Roughly 76 million people were born in America right after World War II. 76 million. A single generation bigger than most countries on Earth today. A huge chunk of them exist for one specific reason. The war ended exactly when it did, exactly how it did, scattering millions of people into rooms they'd never have entered otherwise. So here's an uncomfortable question. Would you even exist if Hitler had won? Most people answer this wrong because they're picturing the wrong scenario. A different world, different politics, but still standing in it under a different flag. Your existence isn't guaranteed by history. It's the output of one extremely specific chain. A particular soldier sent to a particular town, meeting a particular person at a particular dance in a particular year. Break one link, and there's no backup version of you. There's just nobody. Some of the hardest hit corners of post-war Europe were left with roughly 4 women for every 3 men. An entire region's odds rewritten overnight. Hundreds of thousands of women married American servicemen they'd never otherwise have met. 70,000 from Britain, another 150,000, 200,000 from the continent. Each one the product of a soldier who got stationed near the wrong dance hall on the wrong night. And it wasn't purely a war story. Birth rates were already climbing before the war even started, so you can't credit some vague idea of the war. It's more specific than that. One room, one night, rearranged. That's already strange enough to sit with, but it gets worse. Because the version that should really stop you is what happened inside the displaced persons camps. And it's not the mechanism you'd expect. By war's end, tens of millions across Europe had been ripped from their homes. Concentration camp survivors, former slave laborers, people with no country left to take them. Hundreds of thousands sat in DP camps not knowing what came next, some having just watched everyone they loved disappear. And in the middle of that, alongside people searching radio broadcasts and posted lists for surviving relatives, something almost nobody pictures was happening. People who'd lost everything were getting married, having children, on purpose and fast, some within weeks of meeting. Picture one version of it, close to how it actually played out, again and again. A man who'd lost his entire family proposes to a woman in the same position, with a sentiment survivors from that era described the same way. Something like, "We've both lost everything, so let's not be alone in it anymore." At Bergen-Belsen alone, over 1,000 marriages happened within 2 years of liberation, and by 1947, the camp was seeing around 15 new babies a week. For many survivors, having a child wasn't just a personal choice, it was the closest thing to defiance available to them. The regime had tried to erase them completely. A child was proof it hadn't worked. That's not a smaller scale repeat of the war bride's story. It's the opposite instinct. Not two strangers finding each other by accident, but two people who'd lost everything, choosing, deliberately, to build something new out of nothing, inside the exact wreckage that was supposed to make that impossible. Out of the 40 to 60 million people displaced across Europe, enough passed through these camps, found someone they'd never otherwise have met, and had children who exist in no other version of this story. So, if Hitler had won, it's not that you'd be living a different life under a different flag. For an enormous number of people, the honest answer is stranger. You wouldn't be living any life at all. No liberation on that exact date, in that exact place. No meeting. No meeting, no marriage, no you. Your existence right now, reading this, isn't the default setting of history. It's the leftover residue of one war ending exactly the way it did, and of people who, even then, chose to fall in love anyway.